Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically I discussing on the topic that is city creation. In city creation, basically I discussing on the topic that is India account. In India account, basically we are discussing on topic that is SBI account, Amazon account, and after 2 days, basically the earthquake is going to happen. Big earthquake basically is going to happen in India. So that is the topic. So here one person actually told basically this is very dangerous. Basically, I'm telling you. Mostly people says that just now basically the earthquake will come after listening this video. But this is not live, so after uploading basically it might possible. But if satellite basically groups are watching, then basically they immediately basically give earthquake basically. So the topic is like this. One person told that 1 lakh companies, here basically we'll take same example, Mumbai city. 1 lakh software companies, they created 10 crore projects. 10 crore projects basically is going to create 100 crore child. Dump the data into lava. 1 lakh condition basically it's created. After that basically dump the data into the lava. That is the one thing, which is the normal thing basically. Who's basically watching this video? This is our normal thing. Now here the dangerous point is this. One person told that don't depend on any of the person basically. Satellite group basically told that. He given one example. The child basically which you have done basically that is the 100 crore child. Software company says that basically the current generation which is ongoing, if anything will happen to our property, that is to Mumbai property or basically because Mumbai property has created that project. So we have dumped that type of conditions also that if anything basically happens to the Mumbai property, then basically that child basically is not going to process. This type of dependency condition basically has added that as per the Mumbai city software companies are thinking. But everybody knows that basically satellite companies are basically always connected. This type of thinking, if this type of condition basically might have added basically. So do you think basically that satellite group has approved that basically when creating the lava? They creates the land. They creates the planets. They're also basically that also basically with zero dependency. If entire world also will end and basically then also this 100 crore child basically is going to be used in the new world creation. That kind of basically dependency problem basically they solves basically. So you can just imagine basically one person told that Sunil Lahar basically if you will dial basically anything is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen basically. The universe group basically have done the each and every conditions basically. So one person told that basically how they might be doing this everything without any process basically without any uh, whatever basically you can say what to give the name basically the process will be the good word without any process without any system basically they can do this they have to take the energy of each and every people then only they might be doing this na, basically the child process which is going to happen according to that basically they might be searching the body and according to that basically the process starts so few people tell that basically the death basically, death happens in the world basically That is also connected with this lava process. Basically, you will not able to believe that the death basically data which comes basically. For example, I died in sleep only. Basically, I died. So that data basically might be coming from that lava data. So how matlab, what they are doing basically? And that is the question basically, because the death data basically are coming from that lava data basically. So the satellite basically are always connected with that lava data. That is 100% sure. 100% sure, no basically. Then how basically one normal person basically dies and his data basically is connected with that lava data which is going, which is coming basically from the, which has basically created from that 1 lakh software companies and 10 crore projects. And universe group says that basically we have removed all dependency. If entire world will end, then also we are going to generate this 100 crore child. Up to that level dependency basically they removes. But they know that basically it's very difficult to create the world, so they will not finish the world so easily. They will not finish the world. That is basically if you want to write basically in any of the bond paper, you can write that. Lots of people says that universe basically इनका कोई भरोसा नहीं. Means we can't trust universe group basically. But you have to trust universe group 100% basically, because they will never finish the world. Why? Because they only have to create the world again. Then they are going to rework the stuff basically again. That is not possible basically. They will never create the end. But the Earth planet people basically will end the world. Universe group will never do that basically. They always try to solve the problem. But our Earth planet people basically will end the world. So here the topic is what? All death basically, which is coming basically, that is coming from this land, lava data basically. So you will able to believe that basically. But here the condition is what actually they checks and why basically they end that person only basically. That is also question. On the basis of that lava data basically, what they have saw basically that. Somebody they might have saw that basically that this person basically might create problem in future. So they basically ended that person basically. So what about what was that problem basically? Lots of people says that basically we have finished the relationship with that person basically. But why he basically finished? One person told that one person, I will take one example. One person is a normal person. He don't drink beer. He don't basically have habit of girlfriends. He basically nothing basically habit here. He basically say that basically I just believe in one wife, and he basically never drinks cold drink also. Basically. That is one side. Another side basically he connected with this friend only, this person only. But other friend, other side basically that person basically have all habits. He drinks. He basically had 4 to 5 girlfriends and lots of basically habits. Basically, he have. This was basically the hidden thing basically, which this person basically was not knowing, because it's not possible that basically if the person basically you are talking, he basically you should know everything about that particular person. Slowly basically he knows, you basically start inquiring about the person basically, about the person. So he basically got after 2 3 days that he is basically not a normal person. He is not a good person. So he basically told that basically we basically can't have the relationship. So he basically mutually basically ended his relationship. So same way basically the universe group also basically have certain level of rules and regulation. If they feels that this person basically can't go in next generation, can't suit in next generation, they immediately finish the particular person because lava data is already created and which is created on the base of 90 crore, sorry, 10 crore projects. 10 crore projects basically are invested by rich people, and other people are also there. That also we have talked. So they have added the condition. So one person basically told that what they basically has not added, due to that basically this person died. Because satellite group basically is basically checking each and every conditions which is added into the lava. And they say that basically we have the authority to add something basically, but that is very risky basically. So they don't add the conditions as much as possible basically. But they feel that basically this person is not supposed to die. It might create problem in future to them only, to the universe group only. So they basically don't end the person basically. They basically add the condition in that existing lava data. And that is basically known as a blood cell group's owner. Here basically the blood group owner comes into the picture. This basically very rare happens. Very rare. That is what Jesus Christ still basically exists. Why? Universe group says that basically we can't kill that person basically because it might create lots of problem to universe. So they basically changed the lava data and basically added the Jesus Christ blood cells. And he basically is having now he basically is having blood. He's basically a blood cells owner basically. And that owner basically has given one name also, Christian God. One of the person told that who is you are basically whom basically? I am basically Christian basically. Whom you believe basically? I believe in Jesus Christ. Basically. So that basically has become one blood cells owner. So like this, many groups are there. Guru Nanak Ji is there. Jalaram God is there. They basically died in 15s basically, 1600 basically. But still basically they exist somewhere in some safe location basically, where normal person basically can't go. The person like me, the normal person like the other person basically, they can't go that to place basically. Why? Because it's a restricted place basically. It's a restricted place basically. So 1500 means you can just imagine 500-year old basically Jalaram bodies. So you can just imagine. And he basically is connected with the ownership blood cells. Ownership blood cells means assume that basically one disease basically got to some person. And to uh, get out from that disease basically to that person basically, this Jalaram blood cells is must. So his medicines basically are created and his energies are also there. So medicine given, his treatment basically done. This only his blood cells can do. Nobody in this world basically can. Nobody in this world basically can save that person basically, other than this Jalaram God. Same way it's a Jesus Christ also. Same way, one person basically got AIDS, HIV AIDS. So only Nehru blood cells basically can save that person. Why? Because Nehru blood cells basically have the antibiotic of HIV AIDS. And he still basically exists somewhere basically. Still basically he exists somewhere. Because example is the person basically got AIDS and still basically he is existing. But if he basically Nasbandi has done, that basically can't be reversed. Because Nasbandi has already. And if basically you have done the murder case, basically, given the murder case that you have done the murder, that basically is the police hand. Basically. One person told that if we finish that entire city only where this case is registered, then that is different thing basically. That basically nobody do basically. Why? Because creation has taken many. It has taken basically very tough life basically to create one city basically. To finish that case basically, you will finish the entire city basically. You are basically thinking up to that level basically. For example, one case is registered against one person in Vadodara city. So he will basically try to solve the problem basically. If he will not trying to solve the if he If the problem is not getting solved and he is very dangerous person, then he will finish the whole Vadodara city with. But that basically doesn't happen because Vadodara city is also up to that level powerful basically. So here the problem is what basically. Here the thing is what basically. The lava data which is dumped in the basically. On the basis of that, few people basically died. The reason, the condition which was basically created in the software industry, they basically added the lava, but that was changed by the universe. So in this basically, what are the things basically going to happen? As in that basically, they have told that basically we have finished Sunilar Nair. As in just taking as an example, basically, we have finished Sunilar Nair, and then basically Universe Group told that basically we have changed that data basically. That is basically not possible basically. But then also basically I'm just taking as an example basically. So what is the thing basically going to happen? One person told that entire software industry will end, entire universe will sorry, entire IT industry in USA will end, entire Europe will end because wherever IT industry is there, that is going to end. So the IT industry also basically might be knowing this everything basically. So they also basically might have thought lots of things basically. That if Sunil Nair basically we have fired Sunil Nair, in future basically he might create problem to us. Up to that level they also basically might have thought it. So one person told that if peacefully basically things happens basically then it's okay. Other basically universe group basically told that if peacefully everything basically happens then it's okay. Otherwise basically the big city has to be end. Then only basically this people will understand it. But that is not possible, right? Because that only rich people basically can do. Poor person basically can't do that. Poor person basically can't do. Why? Because poor person basically don't have any power basically. Poor person basically don't have power. We will just tell only basically. अरे भाई हमको नौकरी नहीं मिल रहा हम क्या करें हम what should we do this that basically just we have to speak only basically because we are poor basically. Poor people basically can't do anything. Why? Because they are poor. If I'm uploading this video basically and basically I'm not getting job this that basically each and everything, the software companies is creating problem basically this that basically anything is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen basically because I am poor basically. That's why. And poor, there is no value of poor people basically. In universe also. In universe also, there is no value of poor person basically. You just imagine basically. So here the question is the lava data which was dumped. According to that basically condition, the future data that is 100 crore child which is going to happen, that is the final data basically of the world basically. Yeah? That is the final data of the world. Just taking as an example, final data of the world of Indian nationality. So the for example, for example, I got birth. So the process basically has started 100 years before, 200 years before. I am not going to become father, and I basically Nasbandi has done. That also process has started 200 years before. So anything is going to happen basically now. Because the process is done basically 200 before that Sunila Nair basically your Nasbandi is going to happen. So you can just imagine basically currently which process basically we are doing, currently process basically which we are doing, that is connecting up to what level? The people basically are dying, that is also connected with lava database. So what they checks here basically, that is the question na, basically. What the universe group say, universe group checks and how basically they say that basically this person basically can't suit in future generation. Indian basically nationality. I'm just talking about the Indian nationality because currently I'm in India. So I would be talking about India. If I would be in Singapore, then I would be talking about Singapore. So here the thing is, the lava data is created. 100 crore child is going to happen for Indian nationality. Satellite group basically started doing the process. Basically, they basically do up to what level process? Basically, that is also question. Basically, for example, I am not having the child, so they can basically do the process of my child also. That is not possible. But they say that basically that is possible. So the up to this level, basically they have the data, and they basically say that basically we have the data. Universe group basically telling them we are basically in advance, basically prepared of after 200 what is after 200 year basically what is going to happen. They basically say that we have dumped the data here, and according to that, basically we are checking the conditions. Lava data 100 crore condition dump. This person basically this basically comes to scanning. Basically, you see the scanning system. Basically, one condition is there. We have already, for example, you are searching from one file basically. So what you will do in IT industry? You will type the name and then basically you enter the locations that keeps on searching, searching, searching. If basically you find, then it's okay. Otherwise, basically it doesn't find. Basically. So here also it's like that. What is that? Lava conditions basically is added by the 1 lakh people. Sorry, 1 lakh software companies. 10 crore is the project. That 10 crore basically has created that lava data. So this lava data basically will not go to the software company. Now this has connected to the satellite groups, and they basically checks. Here basically that they takes power company, energy company, and nuclear power. So whenever basically here they just see the chaining system basically see. Whenever the software company basically are doing the project, and basically the people basically their people basically are doing the project, that time only basically the satellite group checks each and everything. Each and every stuff basically they want to check. They checks that time only basically. Reason? In future basically they have to be ready. For ready for what basically? For this condition which they are going to check. So they basically will not go to the software company again. Reason? They have the lava data. They have the lava data, and on the base of lava data basically the each and every Indian nationality are scanned by the universe group. They will scan basically this lava data, 100 crore child, scan it to this person. For example, myself. They will scan 100 child, 100 crore child. It's going to suit to me for the future creation. If it's shooting, then it's okay. Otherwise, they immediately basically marks the death data. How? That they know. That is also basically we are going to discuss in detail basically. That is also one of the dangerous topics. Basically. So assume that basically they dumped the data death basically. Assume that basically they dumped to me only basically because I can take example of myself only because I am in India, so I am taking myself example. If I would in Singapore, then I might be taking the example of Singapore. So here basically dumped the data that basically Sunil R. Nair basically died because we had checked the 100 crore child data process. That doesn't suit to me. That is what future data. So here the question is, what actually software company does here basically? 1 lakh software company actually they matlab dadagiri matlab this called dadagiri basically. What they see basically, what they see basically, 10 crore projects which is created basically, what they basically add into that project basically, and on the base of that, and here the main thing is satellite groups are always connected here, so that basically they basically don't go into the different direction. So you can just imagine basically the brains of the managers, the brains of the software delivery heads, the CEO, company owners, they are directly connected with the set of nuclear power company, energy company and power company and nuclear power companies. And they are directly connected with the satellites. So their brains are connected with satellites directly. But that basically nuclear power company and energy company tells it. It doesn't go to the it basically doesn't go to satellites. There is no brain basically which was not controlled by the nuclear power company, energy company, and power company, and it has went to brain data basically went to satellite, and the satellite group basically started controlling that person's brain. This has never happened in the entire current Earth planet, not current basically, in the entire Earth planet life cycle. This has never happened in the entire Earth planet journey. Also, basically that also you can say. So here basically satellite group basically marked that basically Sunil Narayan basically death. So 100 crore basically doesn't suit Sunil Narayan because why? Indian nationality is telling that basically Sunil Narayan basically doesn't suits. So they also basically marked satellite groups. So that is done basically. Now basically how that data is and everything is going to that we are going to discuss in future basically. So here basically that is clear. That data is marked. Now basically again basically they are doing the process. Assume that basically 195 crore um, Indian nationality exists in this world just now. Just taking as an example, basically it's a rough number. Basically. We don't have any calculator, we don't have basically any source data, we don't basically have the blood cells data of the Indian nationality, we don't have that. So we are just taking a rough number. So that Nava data basically is going to scan to this 195 crore human. That is scanning that. That is keeps on scanning, keeps on scanning, keeps on scanning, keeps on scanning. Immediately he marks the death data also. Immediately satellite group basically marks death data to basically that person. That this person basically can't shoot in future generation. Doesn't shoot in future generation. So they marked. Again scanning started. Like this 190 crore scanning basically happens and they clears the lava data. And after basically lots of other process happen. That is the Bill Gates 1 lakh condition basically. Mostly basically this 1 lakh condition also basically might be checking here. Because 190 crore basically it's a huge process basically. So they might be checking each and everything in one side only basically. One time only basically. Because it's very dangerous now basically. 190 crore basically. It's a huge amount. It's a huge number basically. So they checks each and every condition they also have that what to check. So you can just imagine total Indian nationality basically are connected with this 190 crore. They immediately check whether the 190 crore is going to suit this lava data or not. 100 crore is there allocated by the Mumbai city. That is basically Amchi Mumbai. That is known as Amchi Mumbai basically. They have allocated 100 crore. So 190 crore basically it's a Indian. So that basically 190 crore basically might not be girls or boys basically. All basically might not be girls, all might not be boys. So 190 crore basically divided by some number basically. So that number basically is compared to the 190 crore. And here the sorry to the 100 crore. That is the lava data. So lava data basically are checked in the ladies' bodies energies and the human bodies energies. So lots of people says the satellite wale karte kya? What they satellites basically do? They basically creates the future basically. In that basically they have told that basically Sunil basically तू निकल ले रे बाबा यहाँ. So they basically allocated death data inside me basically. They told that basically तू निकल ले भाई. Why? Because Mumbai has told basically तू निकल ले रे निकल ले. That basically Mumbai group has told that basically. That is the Mumbai software company basically. That is basically the Capgemini, Accenture, Patni, Eclairx, 3i Infotech. They have told that basically, chal nikal le, patli gali se nikal le. That basically they have told. And same thing basically the TCS group has also, TCS group has told get out. Same thing basically the Universe group also told. So you basically get out from the future. So like this basically assume that basically they allocated death data basically inside Sunil Larna. So anything is going to happen. That is different topic basically. Anything is going to happen, anything is not going to happen. That is different topic. So here the thing is what the scanning happens of 100 crore of this total Indian nationality, and they have certain level of conditions which suits their conditions for the future data. If it suits, then basically it's okay. Otherwise, basically they immediately marks the death data. So lots of people say that they death data आता कहाँ से? Where from where basically they comes? That also comes from land only, basically. Which data is dumped long before by the Mumbai city. That is Amchi Mumbai. That is basically not my Mumbai. Its name is given as Amchi Mumbai. So you can just imagine basically the Amchi Mumbai basically sets the death data of each and every Indian nationality. They basically have got the authority. Why? Because there basically people say that all rich people basically are staying there in Mumbai. If anything basically happens to Mumbai, then basically it's a heart of Mumbai basically. Sorry, heart of India. You are attacking to the heart of India. If anything basically is happening to Mumbai, that means heart of India basically has attacked. So that is why basically that's why basically they has known as basically heart of India. There all facilities are there in this world basically. Whatever facility will not find, that facility is basically there in Mumbai basically here. Why? Because they are basically setting this data. That basically the scanning data which is going to be do, which is basically going to do by satellite. That is the scanning basically of the conditions. So one person told that really basically SIA ke just hack. Then basically you check it basically how it is. If I am telling any fake data, fake means you understand basically. But you check na basically whether it is correct or wrong basically. You check if you have basically guts. Check this data, future data. Check it basically. Then basically see what is the thing basically going to activate. Because you can't check the future data basically. But you can allocate the death data. Future data basically which body doesn't suits. That data basically has allocated as a death data basically. So you can just imagine basically how the process is. So in detail basically we are going to discuss this topic basically in next video.